Dan Adams was nominated for the 2020 Golden Beaver Award for Engineering in recognition of more than 3 decades of achievement in heavy construction. As a young child, Dan built sandbox sports and was mesmerized by highway construction. When he attended a high school summer program, he discovered a passion for civil engineering. Dan earned a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from the University of Massachusetts, spending 2 summers working on survey crews. After graduation, he was hired by GZA Environmental as an instrumentation monitoring engineer. Dan was not content merely observing, so he followed the advice of a mentor to pursue a master's degree in construction engineering. He was recruited by the University of Massachusetts for their Master's in Civil Engineering program. After completing his master's with a geotechnical concentration in 1988, Dan joined the Boston-based geotechnical firm of Haley & Aldrich, where he worked on several deep excavations and an emergency design build. Dan then moved on to the Central Artery Big Dig project, monitoring the excavation of the Dutra Super Scoop dredge as it dug a 50-foot deep, 100-foot wide, 3/4-mile trench under Boston Harbor. When Haley & Aldrich expanded into construction management work, Dan was sent to San Francisco to be the field engineer for the Aslayas Creek contract, the company's first tunnel construction manager assignment. In 1995, Dan was recruited to join Jacobs Associates. Experienced with slurry walls, Dan was sent to work as a design engineer on the Melbourne City Link in Australia. Ironically, the project never used slurry walls since ground freezing turned out to be the more effective technique. However, it was on this job that Dan fell in love with tunneling. As CityLink reached completion, Dan served as tunnel design lead for a M5 East motorway tender in Sydney, a 12,500-foot-long twin-bore 2-lane highway tunnel. Believing that Jacobs would not be selected for the M5 project, Dan and his wife Lisa moved back to San Francisco, only to get the news 4 months later that the team had won the job, and they had to return to Australia. Back in the U.S. in 2003, Dan and Bill Edgerton paired with Montgomery Watson to win the design contract for the Brightwater Conveyance System in Seattle. The project included 13 miles of sewer tunnel and a 170 million gallon per day pump station. Brightwater's successful completion was significant for Dan, the firm, and most importantly, the tunnel industry, as it opened up a new era of potential in soft ground tunneling. Jacobs Associates had not had a major role on a transit project until the $1.2 billion University Link light rail extension in Seattle. Dan was the joint venture project manager, leading a team of 30 firms to design the 3.2-mile twin-bore tunnels and 2 deep cut and cover stations. His team helped complete the project 9 months ahead of schedule and $200 million under budget. The success of the University Link project led to the firm's selection for the design of the Northgate Link light rail extension, and Dan was named president of Jacobs Associates. The engineering business was undergoing a dramatic change from qualifications-based bid build to price-driven design build. This became the catalyst for the merger to form McMillan Jacobs Associates, a move that created a diversified company with work in 32 U.S. states and Canadian provinces and Australia. Dan, Lisa, and their children often travel to national parks and visit family throughout the U.S. Dan also enjoys riding his motorcycle, hiking, playing golf, and fishing. The Beavers are proud to honor Dan Adams for his career and accomplishments in heavy engineering construction.